This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. As we reported earlier this month, there's a legal battle brewing between car dealers and Scout Motors over the automaker's plan to sell directly to consumers in the U.S. Car dealers say the brand must sell vehicles through Volkswagen dealerships since Scout is part of the VW Group, and U.S. franchise laws say that if a car company has used franchise dealers in the past, it can't drop them to sell direct. However, Scout says it's independent from VW, which is what it says allows it to sell directly to consumers. And now car dealers in California are threatening to take legal action against Scout and says the brand's sales plan violates state law. In response, Scout sent a letter to California's New Car Dealer Association reiterating that it's independent from the VW Group and that VW dealers don't have the right to sell Scout vehicles. Automakers are challenging a requirement for advanced automatic emergency braking systems. Last April, NHTSA finalized a rule that mandates that all new cars and trucks must have the technology by 2029. The tech is meant to stop or mitigate a vehicle from hitting a vehicle in front of them at speeds up to 62 miles an hour. NHTSA says the mandate will save 360 lives and prevent 24,000 injuries a year. But the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, a group that represents most major automakers in the U.S., says the requirement is, quote, practically impossible with available technology. So it filed a lawsuit last Friday asking an appeals court to overturn the rule. BYD is an amazing story. It's now the biggest automaker in China. It built a fleet of the biggest car-hauling ships for export, like the Sea Lion 7 electric SUV that it just launched in Mexico last week. It sells more EVs in Japan than Toyota does. It's building assembly plants all over the world and says it will complete a billion-dollar facility in Indonesia by the end of the year. One of its sedans, the $41,000 Han L, gets 2 charging outlets. Yes, you can plug in 2 chargers at the same time, and it only takes 10 minutes to charge from 16 to 80% at minus 30 degrees Celsius, which is negative 22 Fahrenheit. And yet, GMT Research, which is based in Hong Kong, says that BYD is sitting on a mountain of hidden debt. In fact, it says BYD is addicted to debt. While BYD's annual report says it has $3.7 billion of debt, GMT says the real number is more like $44 billion. And it says BYD is using financial sleight of hand to hide that debt. GMT says the ballooning debt comes from BYD providing financing for its supply chain. But the terms of that financing can be harsh. BYD took an average of 273 days to pay its suppliers in 2023. While suppliers can borrow money from other sources, by using their money BYD owes them as collateral, it still drives up their cost of doing business. BYD will probably continue its success story, but if what GMT reports is true, shareholders should be aware that the risk of their investment is a lot higher than they realized.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
The $5.8 billion partnership between VW and Rivian goes deeper than we realized, and it could get even bigger. According to German publication Spiegel, both companies are working to build an electronic architecture that's based around the one Rivian currently uses in the new R1T and R1S. It will control everything from infotainment to driver assistance. And one big benefit is it's expected to have around 7 control units compared to the roughly 100 that VW typically uses. A luxury 7-seat SUV from Porsche, an all-electric successor to the VW Golf, and the pickup and SUV from Scout are said to be the first models that will use the new architecture. But Spiegel also spoke to VW CEO Oliver Blume, who said that the two companies could expand their partnership even further. He said, quote, "For example, we are thinking about sharing modules and bundling purchasing volumes." Blume believes the size of the VW group offers great opportunities for a smaller brand like Rivian. EV startup Canoo is no more. The company announced it filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and will immediately cease operations. Canoo had partnerships with NASA, the Defense Department, the Postal Service, and Walmart to supply them with its cargo vehicles. Canoo started producing the vehicles in Oklahoma at the end of 2023, but the company was never able to turn a profit, and as a result, it's ceasing its operations. Speaking of EVs getting the axe, though, Ram has canceled plans for the long-range version of its all-electric pickup truck, which is called the REV. Mopar insiders confirmed with Stellantis that the decision was made when Ram made the move to first come out with the range-extended version of its truck called the Ram Charger before the REV. The Ram Charger now launches sometime this year, and then the REV follows in 2026. But instead of being available with a larger 229 kilowatt-hour battery pack that was supposed to return around 500 miles of range, it will now come with the standard range pack that's 168 kilowatt hours and provides around 350 miles of range. No doubt the move also frees up battery cells to go into other EVs and cuts down on Ram's build costs as well. And remember, with Chrysler putting its next-gen EV development on hold, I think we could be seeing Stellantis rethink its EV strategy for North America in real time as it transitions away from former CEO Carlos Tavares. Chevy is offering new financing deals on the Equinox and Blazer EVs. According to Cars Direct, they're now available with 0% APR financing for 60 months, 0.9% APR for 72 months, and 2.9% for 84 months. If you apply that to a 7-year loan for about the starting price of the electric SUVs, you'd save roughly $5,000 compared to the previous financing rates. On top of that, Chevy is also giving up to $1,000 off for trade-ins, so altogether, it's a pretty significant discount. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Intrepid Control Systems. Over-the-air engineering boost your game. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.